Hey, what is up? Ross Cessna from Spiritual Phoenix Studios. We are doing the 40 Servants introduction ritual, and we are on day 14 with the devil. Hey, welcome back, Phoenixes. Ross Cessna from Spiritual Phoenix Studios. We are on day 14. We are going to be introduced to the devil. Excuse me. Exciting, right? So, as far as the signs that we had, or that I had yesterday from the desperate, there was definitely a large part of my life where I lived that way. So I could identify with that in a big way. Additionally, I would say that it was kind of, I wasn't hopeless in a big way, but desperation hits different when you have experience getting through obstacles, right? And that's one of the things that I didn't have in previous periods of desperation. I'm reading David Goggins' book, You Can't Hurt Me, I think is the name of it. And he talks about having this cookie jar. And the concept of the cookie jar is a list of your badass accomplishments that you pull out when like you're really doubting yourself or you don't believe that you can overcome something. You reach into this proverbial cookie jar and use that as fuel. And that's actually one of the things that I did yesterday. And it was awesome, right? And I think that that's one of the cool things is being able to identify with the card on the other side of things, but then also understand. When I meditated this morning on it, there was it was like a sense of giving some of the desperation that I have away, which is one of the ways that that card's supposed to function. So I really think that that was very present as well. And one of the things that I want to say is it's about the devil and how the devil seeped in. I went floating today, and some of the concepts of the floating, like in the float tank session, which the video for that's up here, over there, that was, there was some of the energy of the card of the devil because it was about letting go of some stuff, right? But anyhow, with that being said, let's get into the ritual, and then we will introduce ourselves to the devil, and I'll talk more about that float tank experience. All right, so we got the incense burning. We have styrax, and then we have courage is the other one that I picked. And for the stone, I put pyrite down there for the devil. I don't know. I thought that would be kind of cool. And with that being said, I call on you, great servant, to come to me. Oop. I call on you, great servant, the saint, to come to me so I may know you. I am Ross Cessna, the master and ruler of this domain. I call you here so that you may introduce me to the servant, the devil, who is known for... Hold on, I lost my page. Shit. Let's try that again. All right, so let's get this going. We have the styrax incense on there. We have courage incense on there. And then we've given the devil a piece of pyrite to check out. And with that being said, we'll get into the ritual. I call on you, great servant, the saint, to come to me so I may know you. I am Ross Cessna, the master and ruler of this domain. I call you here so that you may introduce me to the servant, the devil, who is known for restriction and limitations. O great servant the saint, bring the devil forth so that I may recognize him, and in return he will recognize me as his friend and master. Ever obey me, great servant the devil, and ever please me. In return I will offer you acknowledgement and sustenance, so that your energy, potency, and fame increase. Give me a sign that you have heard my call, and have come forth to welcome me as your master and friend. I make these offerings as a thanks to both of you. And then we're going to pour the tea. I think I just elbowed the camera. All right, so now let's introduce ourselves to the devil. So this servant shows us the beliefs we hold that restrict us and keep us from true freedom. He encourages us to realize that we have placed these binds upon ourselves and can break free whenever we want. And the mantra is, the chains that bind me are now broken. The key words are restriction, limitation, bounds, binds, confinement, blocked, constraint, impediment, inhibition, taboo. And the devil's prayer is, "O great servant, the devil, who gives knowledge of how we needlessly restrict ourselves, show me the chains that I bind myself with, so that I may break free from them. May I no longer hold myself back." And I said I wanted to touch on this a little bit, right? I'll touch on this before I mention the card that we meet tomorrow. And when I did the float session or whatever, I drew a tarot card before I went. The tarot card was Three of Cups in reverse, and that is really about hedonism and indulgence. So it's actually kind of like the devil energy, which was a weird synchronicity. Also, today is Friday the 13th, and that's kind of more comical than it is anything I take seriously. But it's more of like a cosmic giggle type deal. But anyhow, one of the things that I really understood is that some of the way that I indulge is in belief patterns, or like behavioral patterns or emotional patterns, and how I need to supersede those. So that was kind of like the early bleed over, or like the early arrival of the energy of the devil, which is just interesting. It's cool to see how these archetypes are already active in our lives, and it's especially neat to have the sync of that card coming up, because I didn't even read the description of the devil until right before I started recording this. Like, I'm trying to go in this as blind as I can and just connect to everything, and it's cool when it, like, the energy of it lines up, because despite being a tarot reader, I had not made the association of shedding beliefs. I think even having conversations with Stephanie Capone, and now in retrospect, understanding that she had brought that concept up back when I did my podcast, but I don't think I ever really integrated it into my own working of it. So I don't know. Anyhow, I'm rambling at this point. Tomorrow we're going to meet the explorer. I'm curious to check out that energy, and thanks so much for checking out day 14. Have a blessed one. Hey, thanks again for checking out my channel. If you haven't already, subscribe by hitting the phoenix down below, and check out more of my videos over there.